Alright guys and girls, we'll start in a minute's time. Get yourselves on, get yourselves comfortable, come and join us, 6 PM. Dinner with Lee, as some people call it. Be on in literally a minute's time. Facebook, hopefully you guys will be somewhere near. Alright. Give Facebook a little bit of time to catch up and then we'll get started with today's current live. Where's my nuts? Dinner with Lee, you know it. It's the best way for it. I still got to cook mine though. What have you had? Anything nice? Facebook looks like it's starting to catch back up. Now I shall get playing in about a minute because Facebook is literally just catching up. It's just come through onto the phone. Facebook, I hope you can see me okay. Obviously, if you've been following my posts throughout the day, we had an incident earlier. And the iPad fell off of the tripod. Well, it didn't fall off the tripod, it was connected to the tripod. And coming into the gym set, I was lifting quite a heavy weight through to the bench where I was going to lift it off of, hit the jump box that it was on top of, because it gives them a better view from all my movements and what I'm doing from there. Hit this jump box and the iPad just went whoosh, at which point I stuck my foot out, kicked it, managed to do a keep up basically with the iPad, and the iPad's not got a scratch on it. But if you've kept up with the posts, the iPad holder is mullered. The tripod's safe as well, so all the expensive things, absolutely didn't know it happened. But the tripod holder, not here anymore, no longer around. It is, rest in peace, it's done well for us. Another one's on its way, but it's going to make the weekend interesting. At the moment, you'll see a little post afterwards of how I've connected Facebook. But needless to say, gym bands have never been a better object of having in the house than today. So Facebook, if you do fall over, well, you know why. Hopefully you won't, but it seems secure enough, but you never know. So welcome to another cyber coaching session with me, Lee Reid from thekeeper.co.uk. Now, we're on the weekly one of nutritional value. Obviously last week we covered bananas and you guys have been going crazy with the different things you've done for bananas. I thought, what a better way to change it up than to do bread. So the nutritional value today is all going to be about bread. Now, obviously bread has been a staple food in many countries for millennia. It has been around since day dot. It's in a lot of religions, you name it, bread's been there. Through bread, through toast, through rolls, through homemade, shop bought, you name it, there's so many different types. Now, typically bread is made from dough. Now, for the youngsters out there, that is flour and water. And then depending on what you're utilising, so for instance, I've got a sourdough one on my right, and closest to me is just a seeded bread. So I've got a mixture with me today. And obviously it comes in many different varieties, of which we'll come on to a little bit later. Now, which are your favourites? Let me know in your comments. I've got to say, my favourite bread I've ever found is a sourdough, sweet chocolate and cherry. That is unreal. Now, I do prefer homemade, so I think we might be having to try that one next time. But homemade bread, the smell of it, oh geez, wow. But sourdough, cherry and chocolate, can you come up with a better one than that? Now, according to history, the earliest bread was used in or around 8000 BC, and it was specifically found in Egypt, of all places. There are three main types of bread. One, high rises. One, medium rises, like rye bread. And the others that hardly rise at all, like flatbreads. So for the Italians around us, flat bread with a little bit of garlic, you know, gorgeous. Now, Germany, ironically, so none of us on here are German, but the Germans are now classed as the bread capital of the world currently. That was done in 2020. The most expensive bread, now this, I loved finding this one out, this was hilarious, I never even thought about it. The most expensive bread in the world, that they've got logged anyway, is called the gold leaf bread. Now, each loaf is £120 and 73 pence. Why 73 pence? How did they get that figure? But it's called gold leaf bread. Search it up, have a look. It looks unreal, but I'm not so sure what it tastes like. It better taste brilliant for that sort of price though. Now, despite bread's widespread popularity with everyone, we've all eaten it before, it's often categorised as unhealthy or harmful or fattening. Now, obviously, as you guys know, with a balanced diet and the right nutrition, nothing is unhealthy as long as it's moderated and it's put into that balanced, correct calorie diet. Okay. Now, the reasons for that, and I want to really go into that sort of side. Basically, bread has very low essential nutrients. So, for argument's sake, it's got low proteins, it's got low vitamins, minerals compared to others. Now, there are breads out there that have that put into it. Whether that makes it better or not in the long run, each to their own. But as long as it's done on a healthy, balanced diet, bread will be absolutely fine. Let's be honest, I've got it here. You know what I'm like. Obviously, it can contain gluten. Now, a lot of celiacs, etc. are out there these days. And obviously, gluten is a massive no-no. It can cause bloating, it can cause upset stomachs, it's skin irritations, all sorts. So obviously, if you do have a gluten intolerance, gluten-free bread would be your option. Obviously, it's high in carbohydrates. Now, that's a great thing for carbo loading or athletes. So the guys looking here, bread's a massive staple. Whenever I've gone to Lilleshall, I've gone to any of the national sports centres, I've gone with any sort of big teams, bread's literally there, it's just in abundance because it's such a complex carb and it allows you to take on all that energy and then store it. So the only negative obviously is you can increase your blood sugar levels. So if those guys are looking to not increase your blood sugar levels, bread would be something I would take out of your diet. It's obviously a high GI food, which is glycemic index. Now, that basically means its GI is higher. So it all comes down to how it's prepared, how it's made, what's in it that causes the GI to jump or down. We'll go into GI in the next couple of weeks. It can contain anti-nutrients. Now, that's an interesting one. I didn't actually know that prior to today. But basically what that means is when you're taking on nutrients, so you're taking on vitamins, minerals, let's go with, bread can have anti-nutrients in there because of how it is created in the first place. So before it's farmed, all the sprays, etc. on there can have anti-nutrient properties in them, which then goes into the food that we take on. So the cleaner the bread you can get, obviously, the better. Whole grains provide a lot more health benefits to the rest. You'll see that in a minute. So I'm going to hold off on that part. Basically, what I'm saying is pick your bread wisely. Now, as long as you use it as a healthy, balanced diet, as I said, the only thing you're worrying about is the high carb uptake. Pick healthy options, i.e. whole wheat and sprouted bread. Now, by the way, if any of you got sprouted bread, try it, have a go of it, let me know what you think of it. That is that part done. Now the fun part begins. Nutritional value. Now, I've got 3 different types, 2 that are here and 1 that you guys will be very used to. So we've got the white bread to start with, we've got then the whole wheat, and then we've got the sourdough. All right, so we've got the mixture of all 3. So that's the order they're going to go in, and I'm going to go from size all the way through to sodium content. Now, obviously we're going white, whole wheat, and sourdough in that order, so you guys know. So if you're looking back at this, you can pause and check it at the end. I will make this readily available on a post later tonight anyway. So the size, we're going 25, 33 and 32. It's just the way they come out. So even if you put the same mixtures in, depending on how they grow, is depending on obviously how much comes out. Calorie wise, we're talking 67, 92 and 93. So white bread has a lot less calories, but you've got to also remember it had less to start with. Fat wise, 1 gram, 2 gram and 0.6 grams. So the sourdough actually wins out on that one. Carbohydrate wise, white is on 13, whole wheat is 17, and sourdough is 18. So the sourdough will lose out on that one, but obviously if you're looking for a high carb intake, you're just about to do a marathon, you're going out for a hard gym session the next day, you're looking to try and get a few more carbs in, the sourdough would be a brilliant option for you. Protein wise, much of a muchness, there's very little protein in bread. However, it's 2, 3 and 4. So sourdough wins out on that one just. Fibre wise, we're talking 0.6, 2 and 1. So obviously if you're struggling with gut, whole wheat would be the best one to actually start helping that come through. Sodium levels, we're talking 7%, 5% and 9% of your RDI. Now if anyone knows what RDI is, leave that in the comments. I'm going to give you 10 seconds, I'm going to count in my head and then I'm going to tell you what it is. Recommended daily intake. Now the fun facts. This is the part of the week that I enjoy. Factor number 1. A rolled up piece of white bread was used once as an eraser for graphite. This was before rubbers were actually invented. How cool is that? Has anyone ever tried it? Because if you do, please post a video of you trying it, because I want to see that and see if it actually works. Fact number 2. In medieval times, bread was used as an absorbent plate. It was called a trencher. After the rich had basically finished their food, they'd stockpiled it on top of this trencher. After they'd finished all these meats and veg, etc., they would then give it to either the poor, the helpers, or they would give it to the dogs. I'm not so sure my dogs would like that, but you know, it was medieval times, so I presume they got what they're given. Fact number 3. A combine harvester needs 9 minutes, 9 minutes to harvest enough wheat to make around 70 loaves of bread. That's not that many bread for 9 minutes. You think of how much that harvester goes through on that wheat when you see them going through those fields. Zoom! It only makes 70 loaves of bread. For me, that was an incredible stat. Fact number 4. The Great Fire of London was started in a bakery because someone was making bread. Haha, bet you didn't know that. Factor number 5. Every year, 12 billion sandwiches are eaten. That's 380 every second. Now you guys think I can eat. That is overdoing even me. That's an incredible speed. You think about how many sandwiches that is that's already gone in since I've been talking. Now, they're the nutritional value stats today. Now, I wanted to show you the homemade sourdough. I can't wait to eat it, I've got to be honest. I've been waiting for days. Be like, please hurry up with this live. So, just going to put that back down there, otherwise I'm definitely going to take a bite of it. This week's task for the nutritional value to go with the post that is on Facebook at the top and to go for the Cyber Championship. It is, can you make your own bread? Give me different types, give me different variations, give me more variety, give me some nice ones, give me some different ones, give me some I've never seen before. More points, more prizes. Simple and easy as that. But from me, your cyber coach, from my sourdough that's not going to be around very long, from Facebook that actually stayed standing, I'll see you guys soon.